What's up everyone, it's Marco from PhoneDog.com. When a brand new flagship is around the corner, I always make these videos called It's Coming because, well, I like to talk about the rumors, the specs, and the leaks of that device before it comes out, just to give you guys a great expectation of what will be coming. So this time around, we're talking about the Moto X+1, the next generation to this guy, which is the Moto X, a phone that everyone loved here at PhoneDog.com for quite a long time. So enough of me talking about the last generation, let's get straight into the new Moto X+1. So let me give you a quick refresher on this guy, the Moto X, the phone that everyone loved at PhoneDog.com. First of all, it had a 4.7-inch display. It's a Super AMOLED display, 720p in resolution. It had a dual-core processor on top of an 8-core configuration called the Motorola X8 architecture, and it didn't have all that great specs inside, but it ran smoothly. It ran Android 4.2 by that time. It went to 4.4 KitKat, and now it's just a fantastic device. I mean, it had Moto Maker, you can customize it, you made it your own personal device, plus it didn't cost you quite a lot of money. Only $350 for a basically flagship device, and I mean, it might have not looked as good as, say, the HTC One M7 or the Samsung Galaxy S4 or whatever, but this device was a fantastic device. I mean, everyone loved it, including myself and everyone at PhoneDog.com. Even you guys voted for this thing to being the #1 smartphone on our OSR ratings for maybe like 10 weeks in a row or something like that. It was a long time. So enough of this, let's get straight into the Moto X+1. First of all, let's talk about the size and the display. Now, the display size is going to be 5.2 inches big. It's going to be a 1080p Super AMOLED display, same panel type as this guy, so that means deep colors, great vibrance, and really good outdoor visibility. The size is going to be around 5.6 inches large. Plus, there's been a rumor about the Moto X+1 having front-facing speakers, 2 of them, which means it's going to have great sound on that guy. I'm hoping it's going to be stereo speakers like the boom sound speakers on the HTC One M8, but obviously it's going to be done in a Motorola type of way, so it's going to have minimal bezel, it's going to have minimal size, and it's probably not going to be as loud as HTC's boom sound speaker, but it's still going to be better than having either one speaker or one speaker pointed on the back. Now, in terms of specs, we're expecting a 2.2 GHz Quad-Core SnapDragon 800 processor, 2 GB of RAM, and 16, 32, or 64 GB of built-in storage, depending on how much you want to put in there. And there's not going to be a micro SD card slot. I know a lot of you guys wanted that, but again, the Moto X is going to be a unibody shell, so you're really not going to be able to, open up the back to put something in there. But again, 16, 32, and 64 is going to be available, and the price tag might even be a little bit less expensive than the current Moto X at $349. So we're expecting $299. You could give thanks to the OnePlus for pushing that price envelope down, because that is a very competitive price tag, and Motorola really wants to be aggressive with their kind of pricing, so the Moto X+1 might be even less than $300. Camera-wise, we're expecting a 12-megapixel camera, probably 4K UHD video recording. If you've ever seen the photos of the camera itself, it looks massive, so we're probably expecting OIS or some kind of awesome optical feature that we haven't heard about yet. I'm hoping it's OIS, and I hope it's really good, even better than the LG G3, but again, we'll have to cross our fingers and wait to see. But UHD video and 12-megapixel photos probably going to be a lot better than the current camera on the Moto X, which is actually better than the Nexus 5, but again, that's not saying much. It wasn't that great of a camera, but it did fine for what it was. On the software side of things, we're going to get the latest version of Android KitKat. We're not going to have Android L because, well, it's not available yet, but we will probably hear some kind of, we can expect to have Android L within the first X amount of days or X amount of months when it hits public release. My guess is within 3 months, like the HTC claim that they had. And last but not least, I want to talk about the battery life of the brand new Moto X+1. Now, the X has great battery life. I mean, it was fantastic. It was small, but it lasted like 24 hours on one single charge. I mean, seriously, it was a great device in terms of battery life, great power management by Motorola, and if they do anything close to what they did last time in a bigger size, we're probably going to be seeing really phenomenal battery life. I mean, yeah, it's going to be great. So I can't wait to see the new battery life figures, and I can't wait to have it it in my hands just to see how good it is. Now, I'm really excited for the Moto X+1. It's going to be a fantastic device again, and if it's going to be anywhere close to the $299 range, it's going to be a great competitor for things like the Nexus 6 or the Nexus X, whatever you call it, the OnePlus One, and other devices along that price range. So again, leave me a comment below of what you think about the Moto X+1. Are you excited for this brand new Moto device? I mean, I'm excited, and I'm not really a Moto user, but I've loved the Moto X for a long time. I love the Moto G, and it's all great to see Moto coming back with a great device. I'm hoping it's the perfect device Motorola makes. I'm still crossing my fingers to having awesome features that we haven't heard about yet, but again, it looks to be a great device. I mean, the hardware inside, the software, the 2 speakers on the front, hopefully OIS on the camera, and a great 12 megapixel sensor, and good battery life for all under $299. I mean, that's going to be epic. That's like the OnePlus One, but Motorola terms. So again, leave me a comment below. I want to hear from you guys. And if you have any questions, send them directly to me on Twitter to @PhoneDog_Marco. And as always, my name is Marco Hanna from PhoneDog.com, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.